November 26, 1943. Mediterranean Sea. The HMT Rohna is carrying over 2,000 American troops when a German bomber appears on the horizon. It launches something the Allies have never seen before. A radio-guided missile, completely unstoppable. It hits at 4:30 p.m. 1,015 American servicemen die in the next 30 minutes, and their families won't know the truth for 16 years. The Rohna wasn't a combat ship. It was a transport. Old, poorly maintained, lifeboats that didn't work. When that missile struck, chaos erupted instantly. The ship listed violently. Men scrambled for life jackets. Lifeboats jammed in their davits. Within half an hour, the Rohna slipped beneath the waves. More Americans killed than Pearl Harbor's USS Arizona, more than the USS Indianapolis. The greatest loss of U.S. troops at sea by enemy action in history. So why have most people never heard of it? Survivors are pulled from the water, taken to field hospitals. Then military officers show up with a warning. You do not talk about what happened ever. That's an order. Threat of court-martial. Violation of security protocols. The survivors go silent. Back home, families receive letters. Your son is missing in action. Killed by torpedo attack. Lost at sea under classified circumstances. Vague, confusing, no details. Mothers and fathers spend years not knowing how their sons died. Some go to their graves never learning the truth. Why the secrecy? That missile. The Germans had developed radio-guided weapons, and the Allies had no defense against them. If the public knew how vulnerable American ships were, panic, loss of morale, strategic nightmare. So the British and U.S. governments classified everything. The entire disaster erased. 1960, 17 years after the attack, the files are finally declassified. Survivors can finally speak. Families finally learn what happened. But by then, most people have moved on. The story gets buried in the footnotes of history. 1,015 American servicemen lost their lives that day, not in a heroic battle, not on a famous mission, but in a disaster their own government decided to hide, because the truth was too dangerous to tell. The HMT Rohna sank in 30 minutes, but the cover-up lasted 16 years, and even today most Americans have no idea it happened. Because sometimes, the deadliest attacks aren't the ones we remember. They're the ones we were never allowed to know about.